Hello, hello. Good evening to everybody here in Los Angeles, and to those of you joining us live via AmericanIdol.com, live stream, and Facebook. Great to be with you. We're very excited. As well as the thousands of Fox fans watching around the country in theaters. Hello to you in New York. Hello, Chicago, Detroit. Boston is with us. Philadelphia, Dallas, Houston, Washington, D.C., my hometown, Atlanta. Hello, Ma. And Nashville. Welcome to the American Idol Live Q&A event from UCLA's Royce Hall here in Los Angeles. We're super psyched to be here. And for those of you joining us online, here's a quick peek at the new season that you've heard so much about, American Idol. Take a look.
Take your shirt off and flex. Feel the moment, embrace it. It's a yes for me.
You know what's throwing me off with all of this is the wig.
You obviously love Tom Jones.
You're like slicker than the guy with the thing on his eye.
Are you ready?
American Idol, the two-night premiere, begins Wednesday, January 16th on Fox.
So, we have a great night ahead of us. Let's get started. You ready for the judges? Here we go. Please welcome your Season 12 judges. Global icon, Mariah Carey. Country superstar Keith Urban.
How you doing, Ryan? Good to see you, man.
Good to see you. Come on in.
Thank you.
Quadruple platinum singer, songwriter, and rapper, Nicki Minaj. This is going to be fun. And the legendary judge and Grammy-winning producer, our dog, Randy Jackson. Yo, yo, yo.
What's up, man?
Oh, man.
What's up, man? What's going on?
So this
Hi,
is
kids.
the team. This is the team this year on American Idol.
What it is?
I'm already seeing people in tears up here in the front row. So if you're watching online and you'd like to participate, please go to Twitter and use #Idol to submit your questions. All right. So let's get started. Let me ask the judges first, and I'll start.
Hi, baby.
I'll start with Ms. Diamonds here.
That would be me.
You're Ms. Diamonds.
Can you let them know I have a bit of bronchitis?
Let me inform you. I believe Mariah has a bit of a cold.
Tad under the weather.
Right?
Thank you, darling. And
But you wouldn't know it. You can't tell that you have a cold.
Can't tell.
Well, maybe a little bit when you speak, but not.
a little bit when I speak.
not in
Only
this
when you
beautiful
speak.
hour.
Yeah, they wanted me to use cue cards, and that would have worked.
Well, listen, if at any point you want me to write down your answers for you, I'll get the Sharpie and jot them
Thank
down.
you, darling. Yes. Thank you.
So
Thank you, Ryan.
let me start with you, Mariah.
Okay.
Why did, and listen to her answer. Why did you sign up to be with this crew here on American Idol?
Exclusively because of you.
Thank you. You like short white guys? Thank you.
Oh, listen, honestly, it's hard for me to talk like I said, so I'll just wait. Thank you. It's American Idol. This is the biggest show that started, I mean, it changed trends in music. It's created massive superstars, and I think people that are gonna have timeless careers. And also, I had just had 2 babies, rock and roll. And I thought it'd be a good thing for me to have something that was like a little more stable than just constantly working and whatnot, and working with this group of people.
Nicki, how about for you? So,
What was the question?
this opportunity, I have to yell, I know it's hard to hear. This opportunity is something that came your way, and what was the process like for you? What was the determining factor?
I knew it was going to reach the masses, and I keep, it was something that wasn't expected of me to do. So I always kind of like to do the thing that everybody's gonna sort of wouldn't believe I would do, wouldn't expect me to do. And the producers were really, really sweet. And, I asked a lot of people that I really cared about, if they thought I should do it. And the last person I asked was Lil Wayne, and he said, absolutely do it. And that was like my last thing where I found peace with it. And then I did it. I signed on the dotted line.
And we're off. So, Mr. Urban, you've got a lot on your plate. Grammy winner, so much going on, traveling the globe. What made you decide to sign up to be with us?
Well, I mean, I've watched Idol for a lot of years, and I guess at the end of the day, I love singers, I love musicians, I love creative people, and I love what this show can do for people that otherwise are trying to find a way in. You guys out there know, who sing or play, you're just looking for a break. You're just figuring out, how can I get someone to listen to what I do? And this show does it on steroids.
Randy, why did you come back to hang with us?
Yo,
There is no Idol without
I like
Randy.
these people over here. These people are hot. No, listen, I love this show. It's the best of its kind. This is the Picasso, Ryan. There may be some trying to copy, duplicate, but you can't copy the original. This is the true OG.
So we started our first day together. We actually had dinner together where we all had a chance to finally, I think, be together for the first time in New York City the night before we started shooting auditions in New York. And then the next morning, everybody showed up, ready to go. What's changed, do you think, Nicki, in terms of the way that you judged day one and the way that you finished judging at the end of the tour across the country?
I actually didn't change my judging. The first day I came in, I was very, very honest, and that didn't change. The only thing is that in Hollywood Week, obviously we had gotten a different bond with the contestants because we've, been seeing them, and they're almost like family now. So it was a little harder to say no. I would say that was the only thing because, their families were there, and it was emotional. That was the only difference.
Mariah, how did day one compare to the Hollywood Week for you?
For me, it was a complete journey for me. I think you saw that, everybody that was working with me saw that. I've always been my own boss, and that sounds weird, but I really mean it. So I had to get used to adapting to working within a specific, a different way, and also the real reason, aside from I had my babies and I did this and I did that and I thought it'd be a great opportunity, this is really about the contestants. And the truth is you do become attached to certain contestants who have just a massive amount of talent. And, at that point for me, it was really a heart decision. It went way beyond just who's going to be the biggest star, or who's going to be this, or who's going to be that. It was I'm really, truly attached to this contestant, and I don't know how I'm going to feel about letting them go. So I think my, quote, style of judging, if anything, it changed. It just became more honest and true, not in the way of like I was ever being disingenuous with somebody, but in the way like, wow, how do I let go of this person that I really feel attached to?
Keith, we were standing backstage a few minutes ago watching a clip of the show.
Yes.
And you looked up and you said, this is what the show, that right there is what this show is all about.
Yeah.
Tell me what you meant by that.
Well, Lazaro was singing, you know, and...
She's a contestant from Chicago.
Yeah, and I mean, and you're sitting there, and no matter where you are, the sort of TV screen finds you, and you just stop, and this guy's singing, and you're like, good Lord, what's going on? What's that voice doing to me? And I said, you know, at the end of the day, that moment right there is what this whole show is all about, and always has been. And all the rest is just some crazy big circus. But that person, it's a good circus, but that person, it's a fun circus.
Yes.
But that moment
Everyone grin
is
largely
awesome.
when we say circus this year. So we're going to bounce around the country. I think we have a theater in New York standing by. Let's take a question from New York. You guys can see it down here on your screens.
Hi, this one's for Nicki. I was wondering if anyone on the show so far, the contestants that have reminded you of yourself.
What was the question?
The question was, out of all of the contestants that we have now, was there any contestant that reminded me of myself?
Yes, that's right.
Was there?
You know what, boss?
You're going to go for...
Yes, exactly. Can I say her name?
I'm fine with
Well, there's one contestant that, remember I told you guys that I named this girl Big Crazy Barb? Her. You guys are going to love her. And she's crazy like us, Barbs. And when you see her, you're going to fall in love with her.
Yeah, I mean, that didn't even do her justice. She's
Right.
deep.
Saying
Right?
crazy doesn't mean she just is her own show.
Yes,
She
she's...
just needs to be coiffed a little bit.
No. Leave her alone. She's fine.
contagious, Randy. All right, let's go to Boston right now. And thank you guys for plugging in around the country. We've got a question here from Boston.
All right, my friend, I know you're from Salem, Massachusetts, and you are a giant fan of Keith Urban, right?
Right.
Awesome.
Love Keith Urban.
You want to ask him a question tonight?
Yeah. Keith, I'd love to ask you, we're big fans of people that write original music. Your original music is amazing. And so my question to you is, has there been any really great original music that you guys have heard this season?
Good question.
Absolutely. Do I need a mic? No. I've got one.
Would you like to voice?
Oh, 1, 2.
Check 1, 2. I'd like to thank the Academy.
Nikki's is in a challenging spot compared to yours.
I'm not going to speak into hers. What was the question again? Oh, yes. Original music. Yes, there was a girl in Hollywood Week. I'm not going to say her name because you guys will see it when it happens. She's 15, and she sang an original song, played piano and sang, and it was just like... I said to her, if you release that song tomorrow, people will buy it by the boatload. So, yeah, there's some really good original music coming.
Is it risky, just generally, for a contestant to come in and do an original?
No, it's risky to do a Mariah Carey song in front of Mariah Carey. That's
Or Keith Urban, or anybody's song, really, because I think they liked it, though.
But each of you had that done to you.
Fun.
What's hard, though, because, I mean, it's a song nobody knows, so we don't know what to judge it by, and somebody will say, well, it didn't have enough melody in it, or, you know, I don't know, what was the chorus or what was it, but this song, he's right.
Yeah.
We were all, like, really impressed.
I was impressed when somebody was a songwriter because I would ask them, do you also write your own songs? Because to me, that adds to them as an artist. And every time someone would do it and they would really do it well, I was very impressed because that's my thing. I love to write songs, so I enjoyed that.
Let's take a question from Twitter right now. This is at Connor Zelansky for Nicki. Is there one thing a contestant could do for a good first impression? And if so, what is it?
Flash me.
Sir, not now.
Not now. No, not now.
No. Hey.
In the privacy of the auditions, girls. No.
I don't know.
That was the PC answer.
I think she's serious.
I mean, but that would make me remember a person. Like, there were some boys that came in and they were like, one boy in particular took off his shirt and he was all like trying to be all sexy.
Wasn't there some sort of a signage going on with a couple of contestants?
Yes. Did I sign their boobs?
Yes. Wasn't there some sort of signage?
I did. Wait, did I sign someone's boob? Because I signed someone's boob. There you have it.
Let's go to Houston. Houston, you ready? Stand by, Houston. Take it away, Houston, in the theater.
Hey guys, I'm Ruben Dominguez with Box 26 in Houston, and I've got American Idol fan Ricardo with me. What's your question for the judges?
Hi, my question is for Mariah Carey, and my question is, or actually, when I think of voices, I think you're the epitome of vocalist, and my question is, out of the past American Idol alum, who do you think has the best voice and why? Lamp for life.
L for L. So, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part. Out of the past
Idol winners, yeah.
Idol winners of all of them, for me that's really hard to say, and it would be I feel like I would be remiss to judge the winners because they're all, a lot of them are very different. You go from like a Carey Underwood to a Fantasia, and they're very, very different in their approach and in their style, but they're both amazing. So I would just say this is an incredibly, I have so much more respect for like the process of this whole thing, that just sitting here and seeing people go through it, I'm like, wow, the people who have been on this show and had careers afterward, whether they won or didn't win, it's just amazing. So that would be my answer.
Philadelphia. A question from a theater in Philadelphia. Go ahead, Philly.
Hey guys, this is Katie from Bear, Delaware, outside of Philadelphia, and she has a question for Mariah.
Now, I want to start off, Mariah. I'm a big fan of yours, always have been and always will be. And my question for you is, throughout your career, you've had such a long career. I want to know how American Idol compares to your career and what your advice is through the long run with everybody in the competition.
Wow. I think I understand that.
So longevity.
Longevity
what's your advice
career?
For longevity of a career, yeah.
Right. You have to work like you can't even imagine. It is extremely hard to do this for a living, and if you want to have a really long career, you got to work even harder.
Even when you're sick.
Even when you're sick,
yeah.
No matter what it is, you just have to work, and you have to love it. Really, it's not about doing this if you want to just become famous and infamous and whatever. It's about loving this as a lifestyle and loving music. And that's my 2 cents. Thank you. Thank you for the question.
What do you think, Keith? What is the key to longevity? Because that's what every artist wants. That's what they desire. They don't want to be here for a minute, but for a lifetime.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, staying relevant, I think making art that stays relevant and changes with the times, and yet not losing yourself in the process. There's certain artists that they keep doing the same thing, and it's actually what their audience love about them. They don't ever want them to change.
Right.
There's other artists who we want to always change. We don't ever want to hear the same thing, whether it's an Elton John or a U2 or whoever. We want them to keep changing. So I think you just got to be authentic and make art that's relevant.
How do you think about evolution, Nicki?
How do I think about evolution?
Just the evolution of an artist, right? Because
I mean, a lot of what Keith said makes a lot of sense, in that everyone's journey is different, and fans want and expect different things from each artist. And I think the key to your own evolution is just being true to yourself. And because no matter what choice you make in your career, there will be some people that love it and some people that hate it. And I think ultimately, as an artist, it's about making the choice that you can sleep with at night. And if you get to that point, it's kind of, what everyone strives to do. I mean, obviously we wanna do things that make our fans happy. That's a given. And, somewhere in that journey, we want to be able to rest assured that we've made the choices that we can live with as well. And that's it, really.
Randy?
And also, let me just throw in, if you look at these three up here, I mean, 5 including me and Ryan, of course, we're all hot. But look, if you look at these three up here, all of their careers are distinctly different. And what I will tell you is almost every American Idol winner was unique to themselves. And I think to have a career, you have to be compared against yourself. You got to come in and be uniquely different. Because I mean, when you think about Bowie, when you think about Jay-Z, when you think about Whitney, but think about these, they're all uniquely different. That's the one thing that if you want a career, you can't be like a copy of somebody else. You got to be uniquely your own and be great all the time. Right.
But you make a good point. I mean, you know, each one of these artists up on stage, so uniquely different. And that's what you'll see as they judge this season of American Idol. We're going to go to Facebook right now for a question. This one is for Mariah. It's from Katrina. It says, Mariah, you are my idol, and you're the reason that I sing. So I'm asking, who was your childhood idol?
Wow. First of all, thank you for the beautiful question and the way that you phrased it. I have to say that my mother is the first person I ever heard sing. And she sang all different styles of music, but she started as an opera singer. And, you know, but in my house, I was exposed to the radio. Keith and I were talking yesterday a little bit like how the radio kind of, if you're one of those radio addicts and you just listen to songs in general, I mean, that was my thing. It just got me through. I was a little kid. I used to take the radio, hide it under the covers, and just listen to whatever was on there. Yeah, exactly.
Ryan's on the radio.
Ryan was amazing even
Ryan's
then.
on the radio,
it was perfect.
guys.
No, but
Check him
seriously,
out.
you know, there's too many to name, too many incredible singers to name, but, you know, we're starting with number one. My mom's the first voice I ever heard.
So, a shout out back to our theaters now. Let's go to Nashville. Nashville, plug in, welcome. Good to have you guys with us. Go ahead.
Hi, my question is for Nicki Minaj. What was your inspiration growing up?
No, she said, what was your inspiration?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? What was your
what?
I thought that
My
was
inspirations-
that's interesting.
I would say unicorns, rainbow. Unless you guys want me to give you the real corny answer. Do you want corny or you want kooky?
No, give us
real. We want real.
Kooky?
It's like
clap for kooky. No, I'm
It's
sorry.
like, let's make a deal. 1, 2, 3.
I don't know. I think I dealt with a little bit of a dysfunctional household, and my inspiration was if I could just make it out of this, I could help my family. And that was my driving force, and I've said it, you know, for my entire career and all of that. But it's the truth. That's sometimes if you attach your dreams to something bigger than you, it's like it's impossible for you to ever stop. So my thing was always, I gotta get my family out of this kind of life, you know. And that is what made me, even at times when I thought about giving up, that's what made me always say, nope, can't. I gotta keep going.
It's always interesting to hear, though, what inspires an individual and an artist to achieve what they achieve. Let's go to a question here in Los Angeles. Hi.
Hi. This question...
Wait. What's your name?
Oh, my name's Donna.
Hi, Donna.
This question is for Keith. How hard is it to tell the contestants no?
Why are you asking me that?
Yeah, we heard about you.
Well, first of all, I think it depends on the contestant. I think everybody handles criticism or, you know, no differently. I think if you walk onto American Idol and you're wearing some wacky costume and you look just legitimately crazy, then I think it's easy to say no, you know.
Really? Oh, hang on, Keith. Hang on.
No, I mean, but I find it harder, and I think Nicki was saying too, once we get into Hollywood Week and we sort of like start making connections with people, it's much harder to say no. I find it is.
Thank you. Back up to Twitter for a question. Randy Jackson.
Thank you.
Randy's corner over here. All right, Randy, exactly what are you looking for in a singer? What is the first thing that catches your eye about a contestant other than a compliment?
Funny, Ryan, funny. No, listen. There are three things that are the real huge characteristics for me. It's not even one thing, there are three things. Uniqueness, unbelievable talent, and star potential. Those are the three things to me that make up great artists and give you a shot at a great career. That's what I'm always looking for. If they come in and they're singing and like blowing me away, I'm like, okay, are they a star? And is there anything unique about their voice or what they do or who they are or how they look or whatever? Those are the things for me. And all three of these have it, Ryan.
Did you, I mean, and for the audience and those watching, did you have a lot of moments, and I think I know the answer, where you looked at each other and you knew that somebody's got it and you turned and you just said, you're it? Like, I mean, you really were on the same page?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And what did you say at the same time?
Yes.
Yes.
Should we count?
Or yo, you that one. Or yo, you that one.
Yo, D.C.
you that one.
Back
Yo,
to
you
our
that
theaters.
one.
Washington, D.C. What is your question? Go ahead, Washington, D.C.
Okay, it's Mr. Peter Parker from WPGC in Washington, D.C. At Mr. Peter Parker on Twitter. This question is from Mariah Carey. You have one of the most beautiful singing voices in the history of music. How does it make you feel when the contestants sing one of your songs? Is that like an awkward experience? You know, if they kind of screw it up a little bit and you're like,
First of all, thank you for the nice question. I enjoyed it.
He wants Ryan's job, that guy.
Yeah,
I think,
Ryan, this
right?
guy's
Definitely got more body language than I have.
Yo.
You know what? There was one time in particular when a girl sang one of my songs. Honestly, I don't even remember which song it was right now, but I thought she was really good, and I thought she was beautiful, and I was like, this girl has a chance, and I'm not sure if she got through. I don't think she did, because in latter auditions, it wasn't because it was my song. Like, first it was great because it was my song, and then it sucked. No, it was, she was really good, and I was proud that I had written a song that she sang that made her inspired to sing the song. So, you know, sometimes it's like, I'm like, is this for a laugh? Are we doing this for fun? You know,
But
or
did
is
you ever
this...
cringe when someone sang one of your songs this season?
No, I don't. That's not me. And I would never outwardly do that anyway.
Right.
It's always an inward cringe.
Let's go. An inward cringe.
Keep it inside, darling.
Chicago, go ahead. What's your question, Chicago?
And what question do you have of which judge?
I have a question for Randy. Randy, you're the vet. You've been here for all the seasons of American Idol, and you have a new set of judges, even from last year. So what do you do at the beginning of the season to bring the judges together? You know, what do you do?
Well, yo, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Listen, I mean, I think the thing is that these guys are all amazing professionals, and I think the only thing that we talked about is that Nicki actually said it earlier. You have to be real as a judge. You have to call it as you see it. You can't, you know, we all may think the same thing, and people say to me sometimes, well, you guys are all saying the same thing. Well, sometimes we think the same thing, but mostly we're all different. And I mean, we even had a lot of tiebreakers this season in the auditions because two of us would say yes, two of us say no, and we had a different person in each city that would break the tie. Their vote could be the tiebreaker because, you know, we're four distinct individual people, and I mean, we just try and keep it real. That's the most important thing. If you keep it real and honest about how you feel about somebody, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
He's on his feet. He's on his skis. All right, back to Twitter with the question here. This is for Keith Urban from @Justine2726. What has been the most fun part of this entire Idol experience so far for you, Keith?
Nicki, yes. No.
His wife, Nicki.
I don't know how to answer that because it's not one. I don't find it's one thing. It's just the dysfunctional family you see before you. I love being a part of. I love the unpredictability of every day on the set. I love.
What do you mean by that, Keith?
Inside jokes,
Ryan's
I asked the questions, that's all.
The inside jokes, Ryan.
It's just fun, you know. The whole thing's fun. That's the reality of it for me. Yeah.
Keith, he was glad that his chair swiveled a couple times this season. That's That's what he said. He could spin around. Let's go
Keith is
to.
really funny too, and I don't,
He's- yeah,
I
you
don't
should-
think anyone knows that, and you won't know it until you guys watch the show. He's hilarious. He has like this. I'm serious, you guys. He has like this dry, sarcastic sense of humor that
very quick.
It's a caustic wit
Very
that gets you every night. It is. It's great though. It relieves you of a moment sometimes. It does.
It's true.
We need
Moving
those
on.
moments.
Moving on.
Diffusing humor is what it was at times.
Exactly.
Yes.
Let's go to Atlanta. Hello, Atlanta, for a question in the theaters. Go ahead. You're on with us.
Okay, we got Tammy who drove here to Atlanta from South Carolina, a huge Keith Urban fan.
Yes, yay.
So tell me, what's your question?
My question is for Keith. I saw you fall out of the chair, and I want to know what caused you to fall out of the chair.
Good question.
You have to see this show because it's in context to what happened the 2 seconds before the chair collapsed. That's all I can say.
A priceless moment, nonetheless.
Yeah.
All right,
there was
thanks.
either a glass was going to break or someone was going to fall off the chair. One of those things was going to happen.
Something's going to happen.
Saving the day.
Something's going to fall.
All right, Detroit, go ahead. You're with us here. Detroit, welcome.
Hi. My question is actually for Randy. If you could perform with any artist, live or dead, who would it be and why?
Wow, that's a tough question, man. Thank you. That's like, wow, I don't even know. You know, I was always a huge Zeppelin fan. I was a huge Hendrix fan. Sly and the Family Stone. Right now, if I could perform with anybody right now, Radiohead.
Yeah. Yo, Randy.
Yeah, dope band, dope, crazy.
Hey, so I'm wondering, is there any chance that all of you would perform this season together on the same stage?
I'm in.
Yo, let's go.
I'm in.
Let's leave it at that for the moment. It's a good tease. You never know what could happen. Spontaneous.
It's good for negotiations.
Right?
Yeah, Ryan, you got to sing with us, man.
Yeah.
You started off.
I'll introduce you.
Shake a tambourine.
All right, our last question from our theaters. Dallas, plug in, Dallas. Thanks for being here. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Nick from Dallas, Texas.
My question is, in the search for finding the next American Idol contestant, are you more focused on finding the next great vocalist or the next great entertainer?
Is that for everybody?
Who wants that
What's the
one?
question for?
I guess
You want it?
all of us.
Why don't you all take it? Mariah?
Whatever they like, whoever they want to ask questions.
We'll get a shot from all of you. Go ahead.
All of
You go
us
first.
a
Yeah.
little.
Yeah, go ahead.
To me, it doesn't matter. To me, the person could be just unique in some way. There was one performer who was a street performer that I thought was really unique and different and interesting. And then there were some amazing vocalists. And so, how do you compare the two? It's really difficult. So many different genres. It was a learning experience for me, and that's what I found, that the diversity is kind of plays into it in a deep way.
Keith?
Yeah, it's interesting because we talked early on, when we just went into judging people, like immediately, figuring out what we liked, who we didn't like, what we're going to send through. And it seemed so confusing to all four of us. We sort of stopped and said, wait a minute, what is the bar? What are we doing? What are we looking for here? And the reality was we all react differently to different things. And so I think for me, at the end of the day, it's just the artist that seems to speak to me, the person who's creating art, saying something in a way that I'm 100% captivated by that person, and there's just no comparison between that person and the other person. I can't take my eyes off that one, That's it for me.
Ms. Minaj?
I love you too, Mom. Thank you. Glad you're here.
I think that it's just something that you'll know it when you're in the same room with it. I mean, obviously in the time that we're living in now, we need an entertainer. Unfortunately, I asked someone recently, if you named the 10 biggest stars out right now, who would you say has a Whitney Houston voice? It really is that's just not where we're at right now. So I think that because it is this day and time where I feel like I'm looking for an all-around entertainer, someone that's going to captivate people with or without music. I think it's more about who you are now. With social media, people now get a chance to really know who you are. it's not about just, a record company giving you a song. It's about, we want to know, is this really you? Or, am I really inspired by you? Do I relate to you? Do you, what you say, is that really who you are when you go home? It's so many things. So it's kind of like the process of elimination. We all four vote on everyone, and when it's all said and done, America is going to vote. So America is going to decide who they want, whether they want a big singer or an entertainer. It's not going to be us. It's going to be you guys.
Jackson?
For me, it goes back to the beginning of what are you looking for? I want it all. I want an entertainer. I think the stage is set now to have an entertainer that has an incredible voice. Why can't we have it all? Yeah. And the people in my life that inspired me, that inspired you guys, really kind of have it all. So I think, I think there's a couple people now that actually closer enough have it all. I actually think that Beyonce actually has it all. I think and I know that you can have it all, and that's what I want.
Thank you. Another question for you guys. After we traveled around the country and brought back hundreds to Hollywood, we did Hollywood Week, we wrapped Hollywood Week, each of you got into your cars, and what was the first thing you said to whomever you spoke to on the phone about what we brought back this season, about what this audience is going to see with the talent caliber, the talent level, and what you're most proud of? Mariah?
Do you think I got into that detailed conversation about it? I was like, I'm going to sleep.
I'm ordering a foot massage on my way home. That was the first call.
No, honestly, sometimes I would discuss the different people if they were that, inspiring to me. And sometimes I would just kind of process things by myself.
But in general, did you feel like we got what we needed?
I felt like the whole journey was, it was very interesting. And look, it is a question of, who is that big voice, or who is that voice that moves you in a certain way. It's difficult to compare legends of, that may not be with us anymore, or, some that still are, whatever, to a brand new artist, because, they may have an inkling of that person, but they're never going to be that person. They could be totally inspired by Bob Marley, but it's going to be a rare day in wherever that you're going to find the next Bob Marley. So for me, it was like, wow, who is unique? Who is different? Who is extremely talented vocally? And that's what I would mull over and think about.
Keith?
What's the question?
Did you feel like we brought back what you were looking for after traveling the country?
I think at the end of the day, every single one of us watched somebody we loved not get to go through.
Yeah.
And it's very frustrating. But I also know that there's people who I love that I'm like thrilled that they're gonna go through. And I saw them in Hollywood, and it was very cool.
I just want to say, because we've got to wrap up, first of all, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the show throughout the years. We honestly, and I know that
I love it.
I know that Randy feels this way because we started together. We're so proud of what this show does, and the artists that come on this show, and the success that they have from this show. And it means a lot that you guys watch with your families, with your kids, and talk about our show. So thank you very much for being a part of this franchise. American Idol Season 12 kicks off next week, Wednesday, January 16th at 8/7 Central on Fox. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. See you guys. Thanks for being here.